Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every start, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With every start, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden, you will grow to be tall, staring out over miles of land without it, but wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With every start, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every start, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
Hello everyone. I feel it's going to be one of them streams. Hopefully everyone's alright. I assume everyone can hear me alright. I don't know why, but I was looking at it and I was thinking, did I turn it on? It's saying in stream a lot, but once before I'd forgotten to turn the bloody thing off. Yeah. No, not. I always say this. Well, I always say this, but tonight is going to be just to get the update you all and answer some questions and then go. But I don't know why since I came back from China, I still haven't got my sleep patterns sorted out. So my sleeping's all over the place, which is a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, right. So. China trip went really well, and everything I wanted to do, I've done. If you may remember, before I went out there, I was showing. If you look over that monitor there, which is that one is the iMega, okay, that's running the 68K version. That one's the Pi Storm. I'm going to show you the capture in a minute, but that's the Pi Storm version. But the one on the left, if you remember rightly, what I said was there was a little bar down the left. They've sorted all that out. All that PAL displays sorted now, which is fantastic. I'd always been pulling it over with the GBS control. I kind of corrected it, but now it's actually fixed in the card, which is great news. If you're wondering what an iMega is, it's basically a mini MIG, right? Which Appy's taken the open source design and re-engineered it to work with ours and added a few extra bits. Now this is his one. I've got to take it back, and that's basically what's in there. But we've upgraded it a lot. I'm going to do a video all about that soon, to go through that, because a lot of people have asked questions about it. It's kind of a experimental, but it works. It works. It does everything I want it to do, and it's whether we're going to sell it or not. So we're going to see about that. But as you can see, I've got two. Runs beautifully, which I'm over the moon about. But yeah, so that's all good news. Right, so want to get something out of the way at the beginning. As we stand right now, well, as you probably know, there was just over 1,400 backers for the Kickstarter, and we had a little problem with the credit card stuff, and thankfully. After I refunded everyone their money, we've had about 670 people have paid their balance by basically bank transfer using Wise.com. Now, I can't thank you guys enough, because this project, without that, this project would have really struggled. So this is going to be a way I'm going to thank people. So, as you probably know, I've been working on the manual. Okay, and it's like one of my usual manuals. You know, it's got quite a bit in there. There's a few bits. It's pretty much done actually, but there's a few little bits got to be added. Really, just a bit of background. But so, as you know, this project was never going to have a hard copy. It was going to be an electronic manual. Everyone's going to get the electronic manual. And it was really a case of, because these are expensive, but I've decided everyone who's paid their balance by Wise.com. Now, if you had to wait for a credit card, just to be clear, and I'll repeat myself on this, at a certain point, not too far away now, the credit card systems will be coming back online. We'll be using a new provider, probably a new bank, I don't know, with the whole thing's changing. So credit cards will come back online. But in the meantime, the money that people have trusted and sent in the balance, meant that what I did last week happened. So I've paid for all the electronics. I've paid for all the cables. I've paid for fasteners. I mean, even things like these, which is pretty hard to see. Yeah, the little OLED panel. Everyone's getting one of these now, by the way. Everybody. So this is going to be in the front. Now, if you haven't got an Appy's Retro Scaler, and the 90% of people bought that, and there's only a few percent that didn't. So I'm basically, everyone's going to get this. Now, Appy's probably chomping at the bit to tell you about his new little project for this, and I'll try and remember to talk about it. But everyone's going to get this little OLED display that goes to the front of the monitor, which you can see in the front. But if you did pay your balance by Wise.com, everybody who's done that is going to get one of these printed manuals. It's got everything in this now. It's got some hardware information from Appy, how to assemble it, even some backstory from me and Appy. So everybody's going to... Now, again, it's only because it's a hard copy. You're all going to get the electronic version. It's sweet. But I thought I wanted to thank everyone who's actually gone the extra mile and done the bank transfer, because literally without that it would have been quite tricky. Now, so far, out of 1,400 people who backed, about 670, I think I already mentioned that, about 670 people have done the Wise. I'm making a 1,000 complete monitors. Now we're buying stuff for 2,000, but we're gonna make 1,000 because the issue we got is they're being made and assembled in China, and they're going to be shipped here, final testing, tweaks for changes, and then shipped. But the bulk of the work has been done in China. So that means, obviously, we have to put panels in, which will cost money. Now, the fact that people have paid, so far with those people who have paid, it's about 730 monitors, right? But I've ordered 1,000, okay? And we're going to follow up a month later with another 1,000. And that's where the credit card business takes into account. So, bottom line is, in an ideal world, we'd get up to 1,000 people paying their balance. Okay. Now, if you pay your balance by bank transfer via Wise.com, because doesn't cost me anything, which is a good thing because the credit cards obviously cost me a couple of %, whereas that doesn't cost me anything. So everyone who's paid by Wise.com is going to get one of these. There will be an option to buy one. I've decided that if people want the hard copy, they want to pay for it, probably about £13, £14, something like that, to cover it. But if you did pay by bank transfer, you will be getting one of these in yours, and you'll be getting it first. So that's a key thing. So now if you're suddenly thinking, I want one of their manuals, I don't want to pay the extra 13, 14, £15, whatever it is, pay your balance, do it by Wise.com. Don't wait for the credit cards because it will help no end. Ideally, I want to get to 1,000 people. 1,000 monitors. It just smooths things out while we get the credit card stuff sorted out. So a little thing, but it is important. Now, don't think for 1 minute we've got money problems. No, we haven't, as I said, because I've paid for 2,000 of cables, fasteners, electronics, and the thing I'm not paying the 2,000 for is the panels because it's bloody expensive. Okay. But pretty much everything else has been paid for. We've even ordered a couple of 1,000 chips for the scaler because they're going, and they're having a new version, same chip, but just they're slightly changing it. So we're going to ship them out, and it would be handy if people could pay. So that'd be good. Right, enough of that. Now China was it went really well. I mean, I had a great time apart from being away from home. I don't like being away from my family, so but yeah, it did go really well. Just so you know, we got one little bit that we're changing on the chassis. I mean, I'll be talking about electronics, cables, and everything else, and fasteners. We've got one little problem with the 19-inch bezel, which is having to have a new tool made. So that's going to take about 3 weeks to make a new tool, just to correct. It's such a small issue, but I couldn't ship it with it, so they're sorting that out. Once that's done, then I'm getting the samples again just to sign off, and then they start, right? And then we literally, I've got everyone doing all the electronics being, as I said, all the electronics, cables, fasteners. Everything's being ordered now, so that when HLH are ready and the chassis are done, they can literally start making them, assembling them, and get them done, and everything else will be ready just to fall into place. So we are getting to that position now where we're starting to move, okay? Which is great news. Does mean I'm going to be having another trip out there because my aim is to go to China once they start assembling, so I can make sure everything's going okay. I'm going to go out there for a week just to make sure it's all going fine, and there's no issues with assembly, because I don't want to have to correct them when I come back. If there's any problems with boards or anything like that, just going to make sure it's all going hunky-dory. But yeah, that's gone really well. We are getting to the end game. And obviously the scary bit as well, because once I've got 1,000 coming over, then I'll be another 1,000 coming over, and then that will sort out. And it's not going to be enough actually, because I've got over 600 people on the waiting list as well. So I don't think it's going to be enough. And then we start the PR again. Once I start the PR, obviously then we have to see how it grows. I think it's going to sell pretty well. I can't, again, I'm going to do a video. So if you see this monitor here, this is the original version 2 prototype. So one I kind of took around to show everyone. And I'm going to do a video of the insides to remind people what the insides were like compared to what they're like now. So it's cost a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of Appy's work. We put in heart and soul into this. It's, as I said, it's coming to the end game, the shipping time. Let's switch this over here so you can. There you go. So that's my Pi Storm iMega. So basically, it's a black version of this, but the new ones of both of those have got MIDI in and out. So built-in MIDI in and out. We're not quite ready to. We're not going to start selling them straight away because I'm trying. It's like the to me it was. This version has ECS, okay? It's literally like an A500 Plus with a couple of mega slow. It's slow RAM, it's not fast RAM, it's slow RAM. As standard. So obviously you want to put a Pi Storm in it to supercharge it, but it actually is really fun. Just like that with the 68,000. It's brilliant, okay? The stuff you can do, it really just reminds you just how good these Amigas are. It's like say R. But yeah, so I'll do a video about them. My aim is to it's ECS, so a lot of people go, oh no, it hasn't got AGA, that's rubbish. Well, God. So it's usually gamers. Now I will say that with AGA, for me, there was the Video Toaster 4000, which was fantastic, and it with AGA it was just amazing. And Scala, and that's pretty much it. Everything else you could do in RTG, which this has in spades. It's amazing. But yeah, it's going to be small. We won't sell that many of these because most people think that they need AGA, but that version will come, and it'll be a lot more expensive because we're having to push up. With this one, we can use a lower cost FPGA, although they are running out. But it's with AGA you just need faster timings, and I learned this from Alexander. Yeah, so he just needs much more expensive chips. So anyway, I don't know if any of you saw the diary. I did it for the pages. I haven't actually put it live on Kickstarter. I've got to transfer. I did a diary every day for my patrons, who again, thank you very much. That money does come in handy. I'm going to put that up on the Kickstarter so everyone can see what happened every day. It might be boring, just to talk through it. But yeah, on the subject of Appy made some of these little 68K chips. They're brilliant. Let me tell you about Appy's. I haven't actually got a video of it, but Appy's he's I wonder if I he's created this little spectrum analyzer for sound. And at first, when he first said about it, I thought, I don't know about that. What? But actually, you're going to see this. We'll show you this. But basically, it uses the OLED and puts if you turn it on. Well, first of all, you have to buy it. It's not going to be expensive. It's this low cost little thing, just for fun. Plugs into backplane, reads the audio coming out the backplane, and then draws a spectrum analyzer on the little OLED. A little bit of text going across the top. Appy's spectrum analyzer, checkmate displays, that kind of thing. And so if you're interested in that, again, I don't know what it's going to cost. I mean, we're not going to charge a lot for it, but if you're interested in that, let me know by email. Because I have no idea how many to make. Probably end up making 50 or 100. But if lots of people like the idea of it, then just let me know. Because I think it'd be a bit of fun. I mean, we'd probably pretty much have it on all the time. So it does look really good. I should have done some. Maybe on the next one we'll do a video. I'll share a video of it, but the video he's done. But once I've got it, you'll be able to see it. But it is pretty cool. I did, as I said, I was like, really? I don't know about that, but as you seen it work, it's really cool. What else? Let's have a look. Go for some questions. Right. Let me see if I can find some. Right. Let's get a drink. Well, that's basically what Appy's. I don't mind him talking about it, but it is cool. You love the little Apple monitor sitting there. Yeah, it's up in the loft now. Just not enough room. Okay, keep going. Everyone's just saying hello. Welcome from China. Got up early for a run, so first time I've been out to catch a live stream. Yeah. iMega has built-in MIDI interface. Yeah, I thought we'll put a MIDI interface on it. Yeah, because you can use it for music. I'm not going to criticize Commodore for not putting it on there. It was a really clever thought by Atari, so fair enough. But a lot of musicians like the Amiga, so I thought it would just be fun to have it on there. And Appy's done a great job getting that working. Now that manual's a nice touch. Yeah. How about those happy few of us that completed the purchase before Barclay went pants on head? Right. Well, the problem here is this: that I know what you're saying. Everyone who paid credit card already, and I refunded it. Yeah. So, as I said, I would have had to pay or lose a couple of % interest. But I don't lose it with the bank transfer. So if you've done the bank transfer and got your money back and paid it again, but by bank transfer, you'll get a manual. If you're paying by credit card, you won't. You'll still get the electronic version, but you'll be able to, if you want to buy them when you can. Now, if you want to pay by bank transfer, because let's be blunt, this is a way to get you more people, because I'd like to get to 1,000 people, or 1,000 monitors, should I say. I'd like to get, so there's another 230 orders. I'd like to get more people to do it by bank transfer, because it's going to help out. It'll smooth things along, yeah? Once the credit card comes in, everyone's going to pay, fine, but there's going to be a bit of a delay. If another 250 people come in and pay, it means that I can pre-order for the next lot. But of course, the people that are waiting to pay by credit card, I'm cool with it. Yeah, it's no problem. We'll get, you're still going to get one, and I do understand why people want to do it. But there are a lot of people who've done a bank transfer. It's really helped out. I realise it's coming out instantly. I get that. Right, I totally get it. But it's really helped the project, and you probably might. I'm not going to say you wouldn't have the monitors without it, but it would have been really difficult. So it would have been probably more a case of that I come over here, ship everything like I did with the cases, and then we just buy the monitors as the orders come in, kind of thing. So, or panel, should I say? So it would have been wouldn't have been as smooth. So I can't thank the people who've paid up front bank transfer. Been a godsend. So it's just a small little thank you. That's all it is. Thank you. You get that little manual, a little bit of a you know. And I like doing manuals. People know what I'm like with manuals. I like to do a reasonable manual, and it's ring bound. If you're paying by credit card, you can always order one. Right, next. How about those happy few of us that completed the purchase before Barclays went pants on head? Well, I've answered that. I transferred via the bag transfer and got charged for it. Yeah, I know. It was a pretty safe bet given your product history and reputation. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Perhaps you could set up the electronic version of Lulu for hard copies. I could. Is this some kind of... I assume this is a... I mean, I don't mind what we do. I mean, if you know... I mean, we've had these made, obviously, and they're nice and glossy finish. If you want to suggest if I put it somewhere... I mean, look, the PDFs are available. You can just have it printed. But, again, this is one of those where it gives me a chance to earn a little bit more. You know, a few more quid, because it just helps. But everyone who's done it by bank transfers can't thank me enough, and this is my way of saying thank you for doing that. Added to scale after paying for the monitors that you pay for scaler, spiral bound manuals this day is nice extra. That's a neat idea. So HSBC bank transfers etc. get no manuals. Well, anyone who paid by bank transfer. No, I mean anyone who paid by bank transfer, anyone who's actually sent us the money, is going to get a manual. It doesn't have to be Wise. It's not just the Wise one, okay? It's anyone who sent the money by bank transfer. So consider yourself getting one. It's just the people who are going to pay by credit card late, leave it really late in the day. It will still be available, but this is just my little thank you for everyone who's helped save this project. Yeah, as I said, any bank transfer, you get it. UK standard bank transfer, yes. So when can we add the hard copy to our order? Later. Keep in mind you will get to 1,000 rather quick when we can add to our orders. Yes, I know. I want a second setup now. I didn't use Wise, made a direct bank transfer. Again, doesn't matter why you sent it. If you've done the payment already, the balance, because it would have been by a bank transfer, you'll get a manual, okay? Because it was really important, and I can't stress enough that having people send the balance in like that did save it. Example, many were overseas. I agree. Among many, he actually missed me. Happy. I'm sure people will want one once they're out in the wild. Success is a pain in the bum. Yeah. Since I'm doing Amiga restorations and upgrades regularly, I've decided I'm going to have one of these monitors, those I use to sell so I can buy new parts. Okay. The video diary was great. Yeah, glad you liked it. For God's sake. Sorry. I'm not sure we can sell the 68K. Well, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe. Spectrum analyzer, yeah. I like seeing audio processing, yeah, absolutely. CC payment wasn't very early. CC payment wasn't refunded. Got in when you were paid before you were shut down. The website status. Okay, so yeah. Oh, okay. So some people look. If you've paid, you've paid. If it wasn't refunded, because basically what happened was a lot of people paid by credit card, and then we had to refund an awful lot. But there was a very small number which the money was fine, and it was, literally a very small number. And yeah, you count as, you've paid. Is the OLED colour or monochrome? Blue. It's just monochrome blue. I remember the old stereos, but I go over OLED. One is Done. Time to get the kid with score. Okay. Is there a chapter in the manual with recommendations which connection should be used for each device? I mean, look, RGB. Just the RGB when you can. It's simple, isn't it? RGB. Oh, okay. I can speak for myself in the US. When I pay via Wise, they let me pay at this end using the credit cards. Oh, okay. That's weird. Seriously, those new made 68K. Yeah, okay, right. That's answered the question. So, there was something back there actually. Good. Oh, hang on. Good question about the Christmas time. Yeah. I would think by Christmas time we should be. The only thing is going to be a possibility of we obviously see what happens because I'm expecting them to come in. I could take a month out of the air, right? I'm hoping they're going to land by about July, okay, and then get them out the door. But that's the first batch, and then you got the second batch, which should follow on about a month later. So that's about the time when. Now, of course, to get them in for Christmas, we've still got to make them, the pre-order and so on. So, I would have thought so for Christmas, but we'll have to wait and see. The trend. Well, look, there's two scenarios, right? One, we don't sell any more. That'd be depressing. Or they trickle. That's easy to manage. That's easy to manage. The other alternative is it goes nuts. And that's the scary one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to sell a lot. But transitioning to making now, I am in the process. One of the reasons of going to China was that discussing everything about manufacturing, assembly, everything is. I've got a number of suppliers. They all understand how it's all working. They're manufacturing the parts. They've all been paid. They're holding on to it until HLH are ready, and then they ship. And then this will be an ongoing process. How many we make, I don't know. It's obviously tricky because I just don't know. Not a billionaire, so I can't just make 20,000. So that's the transition to that's going to be a bit interesting. So people who want them after the Kickstarter backers, I don't know how long they're going to wait. Hopefully not too long because I want to obviously we obviously want to sell them and make a lot. A lot to me would be 5 to 10,000. So that's kind of always been the goal. But that's going to be interesting. I know the people you work with in China were very accommodating to you and your product. Do you feel that they would be so with any business partner, large or small? It's a yeah, because when I first started doing right, so let me explain the story. What happened originally? I was going to try and get it all made in the UK. This is the cases, yeah. My case is down there, right? I wanted to make them in the UK. Yeah? And I went to a tooling company to do the plastics. They gave me a budget. They gave me a price to do that. I launched a Kickstarter based on that. Hang on, sorry about this. How do I get rid of this? Right. Where was I? Yeah. So anyway, they gave me a price. The Kickstarter launched. I based it on the price. The Kickstarter was a success. I went to the company, said, "Now can you make them?" And they said, "Oh, it's doubled in price." So as you can imagine, I wasn't very happy. Anyway, I'd had a quote. Sorry, can't talk now, Edmund.
Okay, I can't make tomorrow. I've smashed my face up.
Oh, okay. I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, we'll postpone it for a week. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Sorry about that. Very professional. Get a phone call, but I had to answer it because it's my lunch tomorrow. My lunch date, and he's hurt himself. So there you go. Right. So so I already got a quote from China, the company I'm using now, funny enough, and it was half the price of the original price. So great, and they were absolutely fantastic in China. Every company I've dealt with in China have been absolutely brilliant. The only one that was not, well, it was good, but the only one that's not as good as the others, and I mean, it was only because they're a much bigger company. So they wanted to make and ship, right? Or they kept pushing me to manufacture the power supplies. So I paid for them ages ago. And I told them, you're going to have to hold on to them. Anyway, oh no, we need to get them out of the factory. I said, well, that's fine, but I won't buy any more. Oh no, we've got plenty of room. See? But that's the only thing. The product, the power supplies are great. They've been really supportive. They just want to get them out the door, which I get. But all the others have been absolutely amazing, especially the people making the electronics. And so I think getting stuff made in Shenzhen, I'm going to quote about Shenzhen. The secret is, for me, was using a company that do prototypes. So HLH Prototypes, that's their business. They prototype and then they do all 3D printing but they create the tooling, which normally they give to a big company that will just press hundreds of thousands of these things out. So we're not selling that many, so the numbers I need are quite easy for them to knock out. So we can be very quick. Now I'm saying that on the basis of course we're 8 months late. Don't go by that, because that's kind of irrelevant. It's just the process that's been involved and the changes that we've made and how it has evolved. But yeah, I'd all day long doing China. The people are wonderful. They've been very nice to me. Yes, I know it's business, but little things like. One of the companies make screws, and I was at the hotel and cables, and they rushed through some samples so I could see them before I got on a plane. And the lady came over with her daughter, funny enough. She was going to take me out for dinner, but I'd already got another dinner date. And it turned out I bought this little present for my little boy. So they're absolutely lovely, and I just love him. So I seriously want to learn Chinese. Because I really enjoy going out there and working with them. So yeah, that answers that question, hopefully. Oh, keyboard. Have you started the Chinese lessons since you got back? Is that okay? Well, first of all, yes, that is the 17-inch display. Chinese lessons. So there's a story there. I tried to set one up while I was there, and but we was doing it on the mobile with the mobile, and it just didn't work. I couldn't get it to work. I'd had trouble talking to Appy, video conferencing Appy, and funny enough, luckily it worked with my wife, but that was on WhatsApp, so that worked okay. But yeah, so my plan is to do some Chinese lessons. That's something I do want to do. Can you make it clear how to get the spectrum analyzer? I don't know. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm probably going to get the Chinese to give me a price, because it's 2 boards. It's one little board that plugs in the right side, goes into USB slot and the audio header, and there's another one that goes into spectrum analyzer. And the OLED connectors at the bottom and kind of handles the cabling. So it shouldn't be too expensive. I just don't know yet. But I'm not going to worry about that for this batch. I have to. I just don't want the confusion. But that will probably roll out later. I'm pretty confident actually it's going to be quite good fun, because now kind of got into it myself, and it's especially like if you haven't got the scaler, you're not using the scaler. It's just nice having it'd be just nice having that sitting there with the spectrum analyzer and the audio. It's just right. The answer is no. You can't add it to the list. It will be something for later. We got too much to do. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to get involved with it. I mean, that's another reason why this will not be ready in time. It's ready and I'm using it. It's fine. It's pretty. We could mass produce it now, but I'm not going to for a number of reasons. But largely, I want to get the monitors and concentrate on the monitors. Right. Let me talk about the keyboards. So I found a company in China who I thought were a good fit to manufacture. And of course, Graham Shaw, who's already done one, he's been very kind and is going to help me to I'll mass produce, small scale mass produce some keyboards, Cherry, based on his design, a modified version of his design. The problem was the company, as it turned out, wasn't really up to the job. So, very kindly, Graham's let me keep the keyboard. I was going to send it back to him. And so it's going back on the back burner. But I am going to give it another look later. But for now, it's had to go on the back burner, sadly. Have you any luck getting the people who make the mini computers and the C64? No, I haven't even asked them. I mean, look, it's up to you guys. If you want the 500 mini to support a 5:4 aspect ratio or 4:3, you need to ask them, because it's not rocket science. Linux, it's based on Linux. Linux can handle it. They've decided to do it widescreen. Now, I understand, because everyone's got widescreens, but this is new. So you need to get in touch with them, because I'm not bothering. Last time I actually did speak to them a long time ago. And they wouldn't talk to me without an NDA. And I was not grow up. Wasn't interested. I don't do bloody NDAs. Let me try to translate. You are asking if there will be a German lang. I'm guessing. Right. No, that's a good question. I have always done German manuals in the past, and I have got someone who'll do it for me. I'm not going to be doing a German printed one, especially not at the moment. But a PDF version. I'm not sure whether we'll get it done in time for shipping, because it's changing. It's not really set in stone at the moment. I mean, it is pretty much done. But I might I might ship a few, then see the issues people have, update the English version. Once we're happy that it is a solid, rounded manual, then I'll get Erwin to translate it to German for me. But that'll have to come later. No, I love blood. Right. Any more? Oh, just in case you're wondering. So you can see the Pi Storm there. If I do that. Ta-da. The Pi Storm is absolutely brilliant. And it just runs just brilliantly. And the Pi Storm's going from HDMI. As you can see, I had to switch to VGA, and all the armchair designers are out there be jumping up and down going, oh, do we have to do that? Well, this is one of the reasons we're not rushing it out, because Claude is doing some magic with the camera port, and so we're waiting for that. because I like the idea of it all going through HDMI before I make a product out of it. But again, this is a, I don't want to call it a prototype because it's a finished. Apart from that camera bit that Claude's doing, it's pretty much a finished product. So I don't really want to call it a prototype because that was this one. Yeah. But yeah, these ones are pretty much production ready. Just waiting for Claude. Where am I located? Now, I'm not sure if you're talking about me, but I'm in the UK. Right. Any more questions? Oh, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna go. But I'm sleeping a lot. Any more questions before I go? Don't look like it, does it? I have to give it a minute because of the delay. Bum bum bum. No, all looks good to me. Right. I'm gonna call it a day. I have got some. You are going to see a lot of things starting to happen as far as on the Kickstarter. What was that last question? PAL, NTSC, separate models? No, supports both. Both RTG and legacy graphics pipe through HDMI will be stellar. If Claude release as an option. Don't worry, it's coming, Taj. Okay, it's coming. I'm not going to ship it without that unless it's impossible to do. Appy's already done what's needed to support it, so I want everything going out the HD, everything going out. Oh, and the other good thing is I can call it HDMI license. Yeah. That's it. Right. I'm gonna go because I'm a bit tired, and as I said, it's gonna be updates coming. There's gonna be me saying, please pay. If you can pay your balance, please do it. I'm going to be doing a little bit of that over the next couple of weeks because I really want to. I'm trying to. If I can get, like as I said, 730 monitors. If I can get to 1,000, it helps because I've already ordered. It gives me the money to cushion to make the next 1,000 with people. And because again I've got that 600 on the waiting list, and there'll probably be a load more. And I was shocked, the video from Peter was at 857,000 hits or views, which is quite amazing. So I think when he's actually got them, because obviously what we do is once they get put on a boat, they're going to fly half a dozen to me. 2 of them will be for Peter. The rest will be for me. Peter's going to do the first review. No one else is getting up. I have had a company saying, "Oh, well, can you send me one?" No. Peter's going to do that. Assuming he likes it as much as we do, then it should sell pretty well. But I just want to get the backers monitors out there, and then just move forward. Yeah, I think LGR. I've forgotten his name now. Clint. I know he'll be interested, in, of course, but this wouldn't have happened without Peter. Seriously, wouldn't have happened. It was going to die. And then his video kind of... So, he gets it first. But I've got... To be fair, I've got some others lined up. No, not lined up. I've got others that I'm thinking about that even bigger. God. Right. I'm going to go. Thanks very much for joining. And I will be in touch shortly. And I'm going to press this button and say see you soon. Thanks very much again.